We're at viewpoint number 6. We started backwards because our last visit to Wetumpka, we went to viewpoint number 7 because we didn't realize there was a crater here in Wetumpka, which is not that far from where we live. But anyway, this is viewpoint number 6. We're going to go backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like that, because it's a better route for us. But this is viewpoint number 6 of the impact crater that's supposed to have hit this area, they claim, over 85 million years ago. But I won't say no more than that. But anyway, this is a sign, and it's supposed to show, tells us we're here. But it says, from a distance, one of the best vistas of the Wetumpka impact craters from this complex. Your view here is of the highest remains of the northwestern rim of the crater. So this is the northwestern rim of the crater, not creator. So I guess it's back where those towers are back there. Vicky, if you want to show them. That must be the rim of it. This is the Wetumpka complex here, but I'm assuming that it goes around like that because we're standing right here, we're looking back across the river, this is the crater here. We saw it from downtown, which was on this side of the river, right in this area. That was where we saw it first. That was viewpoint number 7, and we're here. And then we're going to go to probably this one next, and that will be up on the crater rim itself, which I'm assuming is probably somewhere right in there where those towers are. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know for sure. If you can show them the towers, that's probably somewhere in that area is where we're probably going to be, because I don't know exactly where Bald Knob is, but that's what it's called, Bald Knob. And that's what we're going to go see next. When we came in, we had a truck following us. We didn't know that this sign was what it was showing and how to find what we were looking for. But now that we know, it's going to be a little easier. We'll know that's the crater itself. And everything down in here is lower. It's where the impact was. But you can also see in the river here, the rocks that have been pushed from the impact of the crater. So there's still some impact even outside these walls, because that thing hit there, and when it did, it pushed all of that out. So there's some impact that's going to be out here as well from the rocks getting pushed back. And we saw that in the river when we were up to downtown. So we're going to go next to number 5.
Before the crater hit this area of Wetumpka, it was all ocean. And when the crater hit, the impact, from my understanding, was higher than what those towers are back there that you had seen.
Yeah.
It said that scientists estimate that the original rim was twice that height. So actually twice that height is even taller than what they
Yeah, that's really,
so that is
really
that
high.
That was an impact.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that you can see the crater, how it goes around, you can kind of tell. But I can imagine twice that height. Can you?
No, I cannot. I can't really picture that height in my mind.
Taller than the top of those towers.
Taller than the top of the towers.
Wow.
And then to think all of this is highway and road and grass, to think that all of this was ocean at one time. That is unbelievable.
And that means there should be in these areas some Cretaceous, some like fossils and stuff like that. I wish I knew where to go around here to find fossils. That'd be really cool.
That would be very interesting as well.
And that's what we're going to next week. Next Monday we're going to take our grandkids, 2 of them, and we're going to go hunt for shark teeth. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Yes.
And that'll be in Mississippi. So. Okay, we're at viewpoint number 5. I'll get it out in a minute. The Wetumpka impact crater, and this is a cleared natural gas pipeline coming through here. And of course, we don't want to trespass on somebody's property, so we're staying right here on the edge of the road. But you can see the impact crater, and if we'll walk this way, you can see how it goes down out yonder, where it impacted it. That's where the lowest part, I believe, of it is, in that low area. and some over the little ridge too. All of that is part of the impact crater. And in the distance, the hill, I think maybe the other rim of the crater. I don't know a whole lot about this. I'm just learning, so you know, or this and this back this direction is going to be the way that it, when it landed on over here where I showed you first, and it went back this direction. That's the hill from the crater. And as you can see, as she turns it, you can see how that the crater impacted that way and pushed all of this back up and made a rim. So. And then right here, as you can see, it's got the number 5. You are here. That's where we're standing, and you can see the ridge, or as I showed you before, the crater, how it made that crater. And we're kind of almost in the center, not quite the center, but close of the crater.
Yeah. It says because of the cleared natural gas pipeline, this area provides an excellent view of the eastern rim of the Wetumpka impact crater. The notch on the far rim is over a mile away. On the west side of Trotter's Trail, behind you is the high point of the near epicenter of the crater. And this back here is Trotter's Trail, right up there. That is Trotter's Trail.
Is near the center of it, it says. Yeah.
Yes.
And this is the impact down here.
I'm trying to move slow. There you go. And note that this viewpoint number 5 is now a residential area.
Yes, and you can see where the trees go up and kind of come down. That's the notch that it's talking about. That's over a mile away. It don't look like it, but it is.
It is.
Oh, it probably does on camera, but don't does. But it says that the high point behind us is the epicenter of the crater. The crater. I keep saying creator. I meant crater. So. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty neat too. Of course, you can't see the rocks around here like you can in town, and the way that but there is supposed to be an area where you can. So we're going to go to number 4, which is very close to here next.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, here we are at viewpoint number 4, and you can see this on the map, a picture of this back up through here. We were on the other side of that. Where that power line is, we're on the other side of that. But it's saying that this section of Buck Ridge Road is unusual, it says, because you can easily see hills created on both sides of the road that are related to the impact of the meter. And if you look right here, she can walk right here, so you can see this hill on this side and the one on that side, which she just showed you. But these hills contain, it says, large boulders that came to rest near the center of the Wetumpka impact crater. So we're at the center. Even though we've got hills on both sides of us, this is the center of it. And I'm assuming it probably, I don't know, like I said, a whole lot about this stuff, but I'm assuming the crater hit and kind of went in waves, you know, made the land go in waves. And that's probably why you got this hill kind of here. But if this is the center, I don't know if that means this is exactly where it hit, and it, you know, I'd have to study the impact of the crater and how it worked. I mean, a meteorite or asteroid, whatever it was. Meteorite, well, I guess, wouldn't it? Anyway, I have to study the impact of that, and I don't know a whole lot about that. So we just found this interesting, and we're trying to show y'all, so
yes.
We don't know a whole lot about it. But anyway, it says, scientists say the impact would have caused Alabama's greatest earthquake, measuring 8.5 to 9 on the Richter scale. Oh my gosh. Now, I know that in 1988 they changed the Richter scale. They dropped it down 1 point. So I don't know if that measurement is according to the new measurement or the pre-1988 measurement. If it's pre, that means it would be in 9.5 to 10. But if it's since 1988, then it's 8.5 to 9. So for whatever that's worth. But it's interesting sometimes for people to know. But then it says you are here. So we are right here, and this is the crater. And I've been to this Jasmine Hill Gardens. I did not realize it was on the edge of the crater. If we can find it, we might stop back there when we go to leave, because it's a beautiful, beautiful place. But yeah, that's what we have right now. So And I hate when people says, yeah, but I just said it. So, yes, that's what we have right now. So, and I find that pretty interesting. And the reason we did that, because Vicki was really interested in this, but now it's got me interested. So, I love anything historical. So, yeah.
So,
and we're driving down the road because we know we're in the impact crater. We kind of wanted to see what the surrounding area looks like, that we're still in it. And so you can kind of see there's hills and stuff.
And
I find that very interesting, how that it caused like a ripple effect. And you have flat areas, you have hilly areas. But can you imagine if you had, as I said earlier, not on here, but I said it, a small house, a hut of some kind, sitting when we were back at the complex, the Wetumpka complex. Can you imagine having had a hut sitting there when that crater hit? You were on the outside of it, not where the direct hit was, but you were so close that, and it pushed all this land outwards. Man, it probably obliterated things. Of course, there was nobody living there. It was ocean, but I mean, I'm just saying, if it had not been ocean and people had been living there, that would have been really cool, because it would have been cool to the person there. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, you can just imagine, it would be cool if somebody simulated in slow motion a hit of a meteorite or to the earth. That would be cool. But anyway, but yeah, you can see how the land changes and varies. And I'm trying to hold it still, but we are driving, so okay. Yeah. Okay, now the signs have been knocked over a little bit. We're at point number 3, viewpoint number 3, and you can see up through where the power lines are, part of the impact of the crater there. I can't really read the sign, but if she can pull in, if she knows how, if she don't, I'll do it.
I do not.
But if I can pull in. But anyway, this is viewpoint number 3, yeah, and you can see how the ground kind of undulates going up through there till you get to that.
Yeah, you may have to pull.
And I'm thinking, I'm thinking that impact hit, that the ground was knocked and did like that, you know.
Well, this is what the sign says. It says, you are on the crater floor inside the western rim of the Wetumpka impact crater in an area called the Cliffs. After the meteor's impact, there was a massive landslide from the southern rim that brought vast quantities of clay and sandy sediment back into the crater. The effect of this event can be seen in the widespread red and tan crater filling deposits along Harrogate Springs Road. At the cliffs, the slide layers folded up against the harder rocks of the crater rim. The large gully is its clue to erosion when groundwater emerges from the buried crater rim.
Wow, you got good eyesight. That's all I can say.
Yeah, there's a little tree, a little piece of that limb
that's hiding it. That's pretty neat.
Hid a little bit of the words, but
and they do have a picture on there. It's I'll walk right here and see if I can get it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Where you can actually see the picture part, because you can't see
you can't see
that slide up there too good. Yeah.
The power lines though have opened it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But we almost missed this sign because it has been knocked over.
Right. But it's very interesting, and there's property. I don't want to show too much of somebody's property or anything, but you can see how the hill goes kind of like that, and yeah. And this was, you said, the direct area where it was hit.
Yes, it says that this. Okay, it says we're on the crater floor.
Okay, so we're on the crater floor. So that's exactly where the crater hit then.
Inside the western rim of the Wetumpka impact crater in an area called the Cliffs.
Okay.
And they have the
that's
cliffs
neat.
hyphenated.
Yeah.
So apparently the Cliffs is a big deal.
Yeah.
And after the meteor's impact, there was a massive landslide from the southern rim that brought vast quantities of clay and sandy sediment back into
So,
the crater.
so the cliffs are what must be the sediment that they're talking about that fell. Yeah.
Rock and
Okay.
sand and stuff, which would explain it being ocean,
Right.
sandy, and
Yeah.
the clay, because the oceans are sandy. Or I've never been actually.
And apparently
to
the ocean had rocks too, unless the rocks happen to be part of the meteorite itself. I don't know for sure, but
Exactly.
I'm assuming the ocean floor has rocks too. So
Okay, and then there
that shows you how much I know about
layers that
anything.
folded up against the harder rocks of the crater rim.
Okay, so there were rocks already here apparently. So, all right, well that's pretty cool. And we're gonna move on. This is number 3, so we're gonna go into number 2 now. We would take y'all by number 7. That's the one we saw first. We can take y'all by there and show y'all that again, just in case you didn't watch my first video of us going to Wetumpka. But we're going to number 2, and thank y'all. We are at point number 2, and you can see how this just drops. It's still undulating, and then back up on the hill if she wants to turn it real slow. It's kind of like the cliffs back there.
Mm-hmm.
We've been seeing drop-offs like this up this road, really narrow road, and it drops off on both sides. And it's kind of interesting, pretty interesting, actually real interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to go over here to the sign.
And this is the road that we were on. You can kind of see that it's a one-car road.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes not even one car, like a no-car road, maybe a horse and buggy.
And you can see they got the same picture as the view right there. And that's across the crater, impact crater. The highest point on the northwestern rim here at Bald Knob, which I assume is behind us right there. I'm assuming that's the highest point. My favorite area for communication towers. Bald Knob is almost 600 feet above sea level. Looking down the power line cut that way shows the rim on the east side. So the far, way over in the far distance is the east rim. And we're right here. We're going to go downtown after we get number 1, which is over here, and show the last viewpoint. But we're right here right now, and so we're looking back east, which I think is that way, I believe. I think that's correct. I could be wrong. But it shows the east side that way. It shows the disruption and change in terrain inside the crater. So the crater, I don't know why I keep trying to say creator. That's driving me crazy. Crater, inside the crater. But crater, y'all, I'm sorry. I know how to say crater, but I just can't seem to get crater out. Okay. Best views of the other side of the crater are from private property. So we don't have permission by private property owners to do that, which, you know, this is good enough for me. So, but you can see how that just goes up, drops, goes up, drops. That's what gets me about it. I'm thinking of a crater, it hits and everything's just smooth, it knocks it out, but I'm not thinking about land undulating like that. But you got to realize too, this didn't just hit land. According to scientists, it hit in an ocean, or in the water, which this was ocean at one time, they say. I'm not disputing that one way or the other, I'm just saying that's what they say, because I don't know. But, so it's hitting water and then going down, and the impact is still tremendous. By looking at this, you can see it had to be tremendous. I can't even begin to imagine how many miles an hour that thing was flying when it hit, and then the impact of it. But what had it not been water, what damage it might have done? Probably a whole lot more. So, but it's pretty interesting. And we live an hour and a half maybe away, and we didn't even, me or Vicky, neither one, we didn't even know this thing was here. I mean, why weren't we told this when we were in school? Why weren't we taught about this? I don't ever remember being taught that there was a crater impact here. I mean, maybe they didn't know it then. I don't know. Well, I'm 64 years old, and I never heard anything about it. And so, shouldn't have told my age on here. Let me bleep that out. Bleep. Anyway, but this is really interesting to me. Let me see what this feels like. This soil. I'm curious.
Okay.
To see what the soil feels like, because it looks like something's been coming down through here. Oh, it's sandy.
Well, that's what they talked about in, I think, the last thing that the last sign that we saw had talked about it being sandy.
Yeah, there's something here. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's very sandy. You can see that. It's very sandy, the soil is. It's very interesting. And that's kind of, when we go to Baldwin, Mississippi, I bet this is calcite too. Cool. That's neat. Yeah, I'm sure there's rocks here. There's quartz there. That's an interesting rock. But, yeah. It's a lot of quartz. I don't know what that means for the area, but there's a lot of quartz here, I see. Well, thanks for watching so far. We're going to go to number 1 viewpoint if we can find it, and we'll catch you there. And we just left viewpoint number 2, and this is a drop off in the road on my side.
And this side is just more sloped. It is not, it is a drop off, but nothing like what her side is. This is more of a slope.
And this is, I see rocks right there too. You can go on up a little bit. I see rocks and stuff, a few, not a lot, that's on the edge. It's more sandy than rocky, but there are rocks. But as you can see, there was clay and sand back there. Okay, now this might seem like regular rocks to y'all, but it's different, slightly different, the way that the rocks look than normal for here. I mean, I've lived in Alabama all my life, so I mean, these look normal, but those back in that we were at didn't look quite. They looked a little different. And this just really drops down here and just keeps on dropping down. That's the thing. It just goes down, 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 which is pretty. I find pretty cool. It's pretty. It's beautiful.
And out here is no residential.
No, there's no people out here. There is about a half a mile up the road, but not right out here. Wow, talk about a view. Man, I bet if these people got houses higher up and they can see that view, that's something. That's the casino, I think, isn't it? Looks like it.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure that's the Coosa River right there, though. Man, that's a view. What you talking about? Man, that's something. It's pretty.
That is pretty.
Yeah, it is. And we might be right on the edge of the western rim. I'm not really sure. But anyway, there's a lot of drop-offs like this, but most of them are lower. So we're going down to number 1 now. Okay, we're at viewpoint number 1, and it's actually in I think it's the doctor's office. I'm not sure. But, CVS is down there, and so. But anyway, you can see the rock here. That tells you how much. I'm gonna go move the sign. If they don't like it, they can tell me to move. But we're here. We're on the northwestern rim of the impact crater, and so there's several man-made cuts, which you can see in the rock over there. And that's the metamorphic rock. The reason it's shiny is because it's schist, mica schist rock. Mica schist, I know when we go to the gold camp, when we find garnets, black garnets, we find it in mica schist, which is extremely hard to get it out. Even though schist is a soft, mica schist is a soft rock, it's still hard to get garnets out of it. So I usually leave them in it and just let people go. But anyway, it's mica schist that forms this bedrock. This what this says. And it actually goes down several thousand feet. Oh. So that's pretty interesting. After the meteor exploded, it says the layers of rock were reconfigured so that they dip away from the crater center. The layers and their telltale westward inclination can be seen well at this site. And so, in other words, we're in the northwest, so when it hit, it knocked kind of that way, back that way. And as I said, this is number 1. We're going to go downtown, which is number 7. Number 7 is the last one. We started with number 6, and the reason we did that was because we were in Wetumpka in a video before this, and we visited number 7, so I wanted to start with number 6 and back down. But we're going to go back to number 7 and let you see it, and so you can kind of put it all into perspective. And so, yep.
Yes.
This is it.
This is it. And this rock, Cherry looked at the rock, or at the last place we were at, it was sandy. This rock looks like it's a lot harder. It's as she said, it's got the microschist on it, and it's a silvery look.
Yeah, and you can see in this rock how sparkly. That's what mica. That's because of all the mica in it.
And I said micro until I did
mica.
Mica.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. And even up there, you can see one that's a bigger one that's just real sparkly and shiny. It looks almost like silver, but it's not. It's mica. And I have found mica in sheets like that big, real big sheets of mica, which is pretty cool. And it looks almost like mother of pearl, but we're in the rocks, it looks silver. But mica is very interesting though. So we knocked the rocks back this way, but this goes down over 1,000 feet. So I think that's pretty cool.
So we'll video just a little more of this. Now looking back over here, this gets darker. This almost looks like coal.
Yeah.
I know it isn't.
And now look at this one. Look at the difference between this one and the last one I picked up. So it's bigger mica pieces on there, so it's really, really sparkly and shiny. It's like a woman wearing a sequin dress. God decked out his nature, didn't he?
Definitely. But looking at this, these are side by side, and one is silvery, and the other is black looking like coal.
But it still has the shiny in it. You can still see the sparkly even in this.
The layers. Here you can tell the layers.
Yeah, that's what metamorphic rock is. Metamorphic rock will break off in layers.
So you can see the layers. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we will see you in the next crater event.
And although this sign is right along 231, it's armadillo. Don't touch it. Yeah, she just saw a dead armadillo. I told her don't touch it because they carry leprosy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a sign for the Wetumpka impact crater. It's continued from the other side. But let's get closer where you can actually see it. It's got MSG.
There's Baldinal right there. We went there.
Yeah.
And
they're showing north, south, east, and west. So east this way, west that way. We're mostly in the west area. Hartwell Hill Cemetery. I don't remember seeing that. Somebody made this in 1997 though, and I'm gonna go on this side. Well, it's got 2002 on the sign though. The ridges located here are the remnants of a 6-mile diameter circular feature created some 85 million years ago by an estimated 1,000-foot diameter asteroid. So it was an asteroid.
yes.
The area at the time of impact was a shallow sea. The ridges consist of a variety of metamorphic rocks and surround a central area comprised of large jumbled blocks of younger geologic strata. Drilling in the central area of the crater recovered fragments of rock showing characteristic mineral alteration only associated with impact structures. The structure, although known for more than a century, was first identified as an impact crater in the 70s. So that probably explains why we were never taught in school, because I was a senior by then, or not a senior, but in high school, what I'm trying to say. And they would have been taught that, and we would have been taught that in grammar school. So yeah, that's probably explains why. So yeah. And we are back at our starting point from the last video. But here is the Coosa River. I think somewhere near here it turns into the Alabama River, because the Coosa and the something else, I forget which one, flows together. But this is part of the impact crater, or what was damaged, I guess you could say, or affected when the asteroid impacted the Earth here. And we're back at viewpoint number 7 again. So we started with 6, went down to 1, and we're back at 7, which we showed in the last video. So the rock layers tilt away from the crater center. And so, see, because we're actually on, we're right in here, or here, right in here, I think. Yeah. And see, this is where the crater hit, but the rim impacted that so much to right along the river here. You can see where it hit. That's why they're going back that direction. It's because the impact came from this direction, which is cool. Especially that one, you can see really, really good. And as it was said before, this is kind of a neat little town. But we're going to go walk around the town a little bit, I believe. Oh, wow, you can see them good here. I think this is a restaurant, maybe. I don't know. Oh, yeah, you can see it really good here. That's cool.
And there's another drop-off going into the water. We've seen drop-offs everywhere where the crater was affected.
Right.
Where the crater, affected it, where the land was affected.
Yeah, it's neat. And from here, up on the hill, you can see the Big Fish house in the movie The Big Fish. Did you ever get to watch that movie, Vicki?
No, I have not. The Big Fish, that was the name of it. I have not got
Big
to watch
Fish.
it.
Yeah. This is interesting. It's the farmer's market here in Wetumpka, and they got the signs: the Big Fish house, Spectre, the Impact Crater, 2 miles. Spectre is 15.3 miles. That's at Lake Jackson, where they've got where the set for the Big Fish was. Atlanta, Jerry's Barbershop, Company Street. Let's see what this one has. Blue Ridge Parkway. Wow, 325 miles. Civic Room, 1 mile. Laurel, Mississippi, 216 miles. I like Laurel, Mississippi. And let me see what's on this side. That's pretty cool. I wonder why they chose what they chose to put on here. That's pretty neat. Coach's Corner, 0.5. I have my Key West, 854 miles. That's weird. And look at, this is pretty. Oh, I love these sweet potato plants. Oh my gosh, they are so pretty. Wow, look at those flowers. I gotta take a picture of those. Go over here. Yeah, and there's the city of Wetumpka across there. We're on the other side now. Look at the fire pit. That's neat. And you can see the rocks really good from the crater impact. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
And there are trees growing in the middle of those rocks.
Blooming on the Coosa. That's that restaurant, isn't it? I don't know what this is. I think it's got a sign though. This memorial commemorates the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I and honors all those who defend our great nation. And it is a great nation. It's a 155mm howitzer. And then the barrel was cast in 1918. Wow. That is neat. That's really cool.
At how the crater, right in this area, there's nothing. And all of it right
Maybe at the edge a little bit. It's about all. But look, they got a playground over there. Look at that.
Now you can see a little bit of the evidence of the crater.
Oh wow, Vicki, look. Do you see that? That can of lily down there on the bank.
Oh wow.
That's funny. Can you see that? See if I can pull in. That's something. That's weird. It's pretty though. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that, look, this area in here, there is no
No
signs,
rocks.
no rocks, but all of the rocks are there.
Yeah.
But it looks like if you go further down,
Right.
that you might see some more.
There's look like a playground or something over there. Might be where they got kayaks leaning against it. I can't tell from here.
Yeah, but you come here and you see more evidence of the crater. It's funny how there's parts of the river that it doesn't look like it even affected.
Right.
And then you come down here.
And again, you see the same thing as you did back there. Maybe this is just because the river's deeper or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
And there are some people kayaking.
3, I think, or is that fishing? That looks like I think there's 3 kayaks in it.
There is.
That looks like fun. As long as I can handle that. No more swift than it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, still looks like I can't tell if that. Still can't tell if that's kayaks or if that's just a playground.
Over there. Yeah. That does look like kayaks. I think it is kayaks.
Look like they got them hanging or something. Might be where they're going. That might be where they go. Let them in and out. But yeah, that's made almost islands, like in some of these places. So weird, but it's still along the bank over there. It's like, you know.
But it's something how you've got a good distance where there's nothing.
Between them, yeah.
There's nothing with them.
And I bet it's like that on the mountains too. So is that's the rim of it, this side? Maybe, yeah, that's the rim. Yeah, that's the rim of it right there.
Yeah.
And it's 5 miles around. So, wow. All right, we'll stop it there.